G'day, how you going? Ian Harris here from Australia, your acrylic guru. Welcome to me video. Today's video is a tribute to Bob Ross. I did one a few years ago, so this is my second tribute. I have been requested on one of my live shows if I can do another Bob Ross. So this one's a tribute to Bob Ross, and this one is his Evening at Sunset. And I'll be doing it in acrylics though. He is obviously is an oil artist, so I'll be doing it in acrylic. So I'll be doing it a different way than what he done, but obviously the same subject, same layout of the picture, all right? And also I've got a special fan mail I want to read that came through, and featuring a special guest later on in the video would be Angela Young from Queensland. She's from Hervey Bay in Queensland, that's in Australia, all right? And she'll be telling me when it's time to whack a frame on this painting, all right? So look out for Angela Young at the end there. Now I've got some special mail here. I've got a few followers obviously, and they send me bits and pieces, but this one was a little bit special. It says, "Dear Ian Harris," I better put my glasses on for this one because I don't have my other contacts in. "Here I send you the pictures of your tutorials that I have made. Only those of Holland and of the eye are my own ideas, but the rest are your techniques. Many love of your loyal follower, Hoswina Pathais." She's from Rotterdam in the Netherlands, and she's gone and printed out some beautiful, come over here, she's gone and, these are her paintings, and a lot of them are renditions of my tutorials. She's printed them on some gloss photo paper, which is very nice. I hope you can see all of those, yes. Over there, over there. Okay, and like the Holland subject, like the eye, that's her idea, this one there, and this one here of the windmill. She's done a few of my tutorials here. That's beautiful. Lovely to get, lovely to receive. These sort of photos can be put in a beautiful little frame behind some glass. They're a keepsake. Thank you very much for that lovely fan mail there from Hoswina Pathais. I'll treasure those. When I get time, I'll be able to put some of these. Well, she's done a pretty good job. Very good job. Well done. All right. Also, just another, while we get the sizes up in centimetres and inches on the canvas there, and also the colours going up, I'll just let you know that people that do send in fan mail and gifts, you all get an acknowledgement from me, okay? I don't just get it and accept it. I'd like to acknowledge you as well and give you lots of love and thanks for it, okay? So the colours are just finished going up the screen there, and we've got our palette ready. I've got a canvas panel, and we've got Bob Ross's picture down there. What I done is I found the Evening at Sunset painting, because they said I should do the Evening at Sunset in one of my live shows. I found it. This is a still from the video. So what I've done is I've just screenshot a still from the video, and I'm going to use that as my reference, and we'll be doing it in acrylic. Okay, because we're using acrylic, but I want the sky to blend like an oil, I'm going to condition my canvas with the craft paint, the soft body flowable white paint with some retarder. Get that all in my brush, and we're going to do the whole canvas here, not just half at a time. Get this all pushed into the teeth of this canvas. Pick up some more and get the bottom half done. So now what I'm doing for you beginners, I'm getting the brush left and right, up and down, getting it all through the teeth of the canvas, getting the paint in there. Then I'll just stroke it from the left and the right to make it nice and neat, okay? Now have yourself a paper towel and a blending brush ready, because we've got to do some blending. But before we do, we're going to start layering the sky. So I'm going to use a pouncer as an applicator. Now I've got Indian yellow down here. Beautiful strong yellow. When this is mixed with the white, it looks beautiful. And I want the actual center point of this painting. There's center, so I'm coming down left of center, let's say about there, okay? Pretty easy, or did I complicate you? Now I want to get this around the circle into a football ovally egg shape like that, okay? Just like that. Blend it. Now I dampen my pouncer. You can use a brush. This pouncer just does it beautiful without any scratches. If you dampen it too much, you'll find you get a very bubbly surface. Okay, so we've got that done. Now, on my applicating brush, I've cleaned it and I'm going to pick up the permanent alizarin. Now, in any sunset, you want the red dividing the yellow and the blue, because otherwise you'll get a green tinge in your sky and it's something you don't want. So always divide those two with the red and it'll create an orange and a purple colour as well, which can look natural in your sky. Now, I want these to be like hammock shapes, little smiley mouths. So we're just going to come up here like this, turn your brush around. I've got into the sunset there, just like that, into there, into there. Now into the water as well, don't forget the watercolours. We can wipe this, hang on, let me just get our watercolours so we're not going to lose it. There's the centre of our painting there. I want to wipe this brush and just the water side, let's just get that pulled across like so. There we go. And then I want to quickly blend that yellow and the red together. So I've got a blending brush. And now I'm going to start in the lighter colour into here. Okay, so we don't kill, I don't want to bring big blobs of that into the yellow, okay? So I'm blending the permanent alizarin and the Indian yellow together. It's going to make its own kind of orangey flavour there. Up here, not too far into there, because when we add the blue, we don't want it turning into green. Otherwise, you'll have green in your sky. Okay, that's it. That's it. You can see how much I've done just here. Now back down on the palette, same two brushes that I've been using all through the painting so far, but they've been cleaned. And now I want to pick up the phthalo blue on both sides of this brush and apply it to the canvas the exact same way I applied the permanent alizarin. Okay, so we'll start with the blue smiley faces up there like that. Keep it all blue for now. Pick up a bit more. Same down here. Just bring it in from the sides. Now we can get little bits within our purple. Hopefully we didn't bring too much of the yellow in, because if you did, you'll end up with green, and green's not what we want. Just like that. Bit in there. Now I'm going to wipe the brush like we did before. Wiping it just on my paper towel roll there. And again, this bit here, pull the water colours. It doesn't matter if we get a bit of green in the water ocean, because we all know there's green tinges in the ocean. Or in this case, it's a lake maybe, but this is going to turn out to be whatever it is, whether it's the ocean or a lake. But it's Bob Ross's Evening at Sunset. So it's an evening at the sunset time. There we go, and we've got some simple water. Now we've got to blend that sky. So my blending brush is clean. I've got my paper towel roll ready. This is just from the hardware store, this blending brush. See how broad the face is on it, and it's soft? It's not too soft though, like a makeup brush. Now I'm going to blend this in these stroke directions. I'm not going to blend it up and down like that. Now I'm going to start from here and find my pressure. Now all that retarder I put on there with the craft paint has allowed this to be blended the way it's happening now, okay? And if you want, wipe your brush. If you want, you can add some even darker elements within this sky. Just on the very edges, maybe like dioxazine purple or something like that. Okay, I want to get those brush strokes out, make it look pleasant. Wipe it, it's building up a lot of paint already. Now this one here, I want to pull into that red, carefully not to hit the yellow. Wipe it again, wipe it, wipe it. And that's why I'm blending it, the angle of those brush strokes, so it'll suit the painting. Okay, I've blended all that, but see, I want some more alizarin, permanent alizarin over here. So I've get that on there and we'll blend that through. Just get some more darker sunsetting, you know, those values within the sky, because we're going to put a few clouds in here, and all these colours mixed with the white will create the sunsetting colours of the clouds. So I want to get this from that colour mixed that way first. I don't want to try and bring too much blue into there. Be careful with your blue and the yellow, we don't get green there. And we'll just get this one as well. It's pretty much like blending a cloud. If you've blended your clouds, just assume that's a cloud, but it's just different colour and it's making up a different part of the painting. Okay, now we'll put some clouds on there. Now my clouds are just going to be simple titanium white out of the tube, and the stuff on the canvas is still wet, ready to blend through this white. So let's say put something here first. See this dark bit? I'm going to sort of come on the top of it and into it a bit so that can be blended into this cloud, and it's going to pick up other colours. I'm creating the top shape of this cloud. It's pretty much coming over our head. Okay. There it is there. Now, once again, blending brush and a paper towel roll or a rag, and we want to blend that into those colours there. We're going to get the sunsetting cloud, manipulate it, wipe the build up. I'm bringing that into that reddish colour there. Look at that, we've got a beautiful cloud. I don't have to go and add the shadow colours in here because it's already picking them up. And that's going to come over here, overhead. Wipe your brush. It's important to wipe your brush. I've got something there, it keeps picking up. It's important to wipe your brush. So as every time you blend, you're doing a clean blend, okay? Clean your brush, and I know we can probably put something there and something here. This one here I'm going to bring right off the painting. Okay. Same again, blending brush. Try not to overcloud your sky. Sometimes we can get caught and overcloud the damn things, eh? Alright, so I'm going to do the same here. Get that. Twist it. I'm not pressing very heavy, and that pretty much took a lot of that white paint away, but that's alright. It's not overly done. And then this one here, I'm blending it into that bottom colour. So we've got the shadow there, the sunlight hitting it, wiping the build up. And the same there. There we go, and come straight off the painting. All right, just to finish this off, I want to pick up some more of the Indian yellow and direct it pretty much down here. One side. Let it fade away. If you've got to go again, wash your brush, reapply it. But that'll do just for this purpose of this video. And I'm going to just push that into the water as well. That's just a bit more denser of the glare of the brightness in there, okay, wherever our water ends up. Because Bob Ross has got some trees here now. So I was going to bring some white clouds there, but there's trees there, so we'll put them in now. I've dried everything on the canvas. Now I'm going to mix up the permanent alizarin and the phthalo blue just to get a dark purple going. We could probably introduce a bit of white and you'll be able to see what colour it's turning into. There we go. So there's our horizon line, but we're coming down a bit because there's going to be land here. Now I want this brush to make pointy ones. So we'll get these pretty much coming off the painting there, from a high side coming down into a low side. There we go, that's it. So I'm pretty much going to keep them within that horizon line. They can go under it a little bit. I'm not worried about that because we're going to put some field grass there. Yeah, I've got to do this all the way along. Just getting to the other side of the canvas here. Trying to keep the top of these with the fan brush reasonably evergreen looking. We don't get those evergreens in Australia, for those people who don't know. We get like pine trees. Probably our version of your evergreens. Well, where I've been in Australia, I've never seen those evergreens. Now I'm going to get a bit of the white just to taint some of that over here, not too much. Get the brush a little bit damp. And I want to create just some shadows within there, but not too much. So I'm going to go from the, there we go, we're just going to create different trees, putting them backwards and forwards. I want to have a look in the monitor just to see how they're looking. I don't want them too bright, but okay, I've just pulled these strokes down because I don't want them dotty like that, and I don't want them too loud either, so I'm sort of massaging them into that darker colour as it may need it, and then we'll put our trunks in there. So that's all wet. This brush I'm going to keep using, I've washed it, but it's quite scratchy. Now I don't want it, I want it to, because I remember he, see, it should work in acrylics. Scratched up the trunks, so let's see where we are. He's got a tree there, so I'm going to work from about here. And oh yeah, that's it. You want them liney and scratchy. We don't want a big, thick amount like that. We want it, oh, like that. Less is best, and let's just get these up there. If we can, nice. See now, see how I'm painting, holding the brush as well. I've just got it in my hands. Something my good mate Len Hen does a lot. And you can just let your hand hit the canvas and it controls itself. You don't want to be getting on there and coming down, putting a big blob, because the top of these white lines, loose, the top of these white lines I've got to be pin needly sharp, just to look like the way Bob did in his video, like the highlighted trunks in the trees. That'll do. Now everything's dry, and I've got me large 2-inch flat brush again. And I've got some burnt umber. Give it a bit of wetness. And we want to map in the bottom field area, leaving a bit open for our lake that Bob Ross has in his. So we'll pretty much do the same as what he's done. So this is coming pretty much across the top there. Tell you what, that brush isn't wet enough. Let's get it really wet, not too wet, but find that amount that's going to help it flow, because this has got a, there we go. Now we're going to come across there, and his river's probably like here. So it's coming down there. I'm going to get the top of this done first. This can be scratchy and broken up and rough because it's ground. Okay, just trying to get rid of those light bits that are see-through. That's it. Now we can go for it. Now he's got his, it's pretty much, I want to go this way. By it's doing this, it's not dried enough underneath and it's going to pull. So I want to stamp this on. There we go. And it'll work the way I want it to work. And we're just getting our brush and making the edge of the bank there for our river. We'll keep it coming off the page there. We won't bring it right down to the bottom. So this is just me burnt umber. Could have used black. You could use black here if you want. This is just to give it some depth. And there we go. We have our landmass. Okay, I've dried all that. Now I've got one of these brushes. This one is from the art shop. It's one of those scratchy ones. I don't even know what they're called. Doesn't even have a name on it. But I'm just going to keep it simple with forest green for the dark, cadmium yellow light I'll mix later to get some highlighted yellow green. And I want to use this to come in and follow, see if anything this land is coming down to the water's edge, okay? So I'll start from here, and this is going to be scratchy. It'll leave some of the dark there, but the momentum you're using within your hand movements is this way, like that. Start straight and come down, so I'm straight about there. See all these here? That's where you can start, you know, different banks. Leave some dark bits there. Put the light bit right on the top of those bits sticking out. See there, like that? Right on the top. Keep all these following the shape of your land. This brush is a good one for doing this kind of stuff. So we'll come there, leaving some dark pockets in the middle. And I always forget to rub my monitor to refresh it, because if I don't, after a while it turns off, and it's just turned off. Now I've got to wait till I finish this so I can see how it's looking. Okay, so this is just a forest green, just pretty much a dark green, and we'll highlight this. Okay, so now I haven't done anything with that brush. I'm going to grab some of this cadmium yellow light and get some yellow green mixed out of it. There we go, look at that, so easy. And now we've got to get our highlights to all this field. Now I haven't dried it, maybe I should. Let's see how I feel it's going to go. Out the back here, just very softly touch your work. And when we've finished, we can change some of the values of these highlights, make some darker and lighter than others. Okay, now you can see, pick up some more. I haven't dried it. I'm touching very lightly, and I'm just creating, you want some shadow between this and the water. It creates the land and the depth. How's that looking in the monitor? That's not too bad. Okay, now we'll start going for it. So we're keeping it straight. See, it's getting a little bit muddy, so I'm going to stop and dry that now. That's the good thing about acrylics. You can stop, work in layers, dry them. It's a lot of fun. Now I'm following the shape of the land. I'm going to come on the top of that, bring that back here, leave some dark pockets, pick up your paint again. Oh, look at that big blob, that looks a bit ugly. Like I've said before, if you've too much bright or you mucked up a bright area, grab the dark colour and just put it back. And I think around this area here I might intensify the glare on the field there. Now in Bob Ross's one, he's put a little hut or a house or a barn. I'm not going to put that in here. You can opt to do that if you want. Okay, you can see what's happening here. Just let me have a look in the monitor. Okay, now I'm getting more of the yellow just to intensify a glare out in that field. So don't want it full yellow, but I can see this value here and where I want to come from it. So there we go, there. And pretty much around here. Oh, get that very scratchy. And if it's not bright enough, stop and make it brighter by putting more yellow into it. Just want to see how this is looking. I'm getting excited. Just glare up this section. I want to see if in the monitor if that's working the way I was anticipating it to work. Yeah, we got a bit of glare there. Now I might just grab a bit of the dark, like I told you. And if you feel you've mucked up some of it with too blobby of the bright stuff, just do this. You can keep going backwards and forwards until you're happy with the tone. Okay, everything's had a dry and we want to put some water hitting the bottom of that bank. So I've dampened my flathead brush. I'm using this instead of a knife. I'm pretty sure in the video he might have knifed this on, but I'm using this flathead brush because it's easier for me to control in acrylic. Now we don't want it too bright. Where's a bit of, maybe I might destroy it with a bit of blue there, so as it's not pure white. And then we'll come along and we'll just want to kiss the bottom where the water's hitting these banks. I'm just using my bullshit stick here. It helps me keep everything straight. How's that looking in the monitor? Yep, that's it. That's all you need, see? And you, with the water, with these bits, you can get it there and come out a bit from there. It doesn't have to stop right on the edge. This is just a neat way to do it if you're not good with a knife. I will admit I'm not good with a knife. Out there like that. And then if you want, you can get some whiter bits and lighten these up with more white. And then I'm going to wash the brush. You can hear me washing it in the water. It's still a little bit on the damp side, and then I want to turn that into film. Get rid of that stick. Keep the top edge there and kind of wet the bottom half of it down into the painting there. And it, to me, it just turns that into film. It's not such a hard line. I'll wipe that. Then we can, if we want, you can add some white shimmer in it. So we'll just get this, let me just finish this. Now we'll pick up just some pure white or from there. And I want to get white hitting the bank of all this now in that type of manner. Let me see how that's looking. There we go. I hope that's doing it. So you can put rocks in this. Oh, you can just get carried away and do so many things with someone's painting. You can just mix it up and change it and make it your own. That down. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, get in there, yeah. I tell you what, I need to whack that kettle on, eh? I'm dying for a cuppa. Anyway, let's finish this painting. Alrighty, let's put a tree coming off the edge like Mr. Ross did. So we'll come off the painting and about here. So use what brush is going to work for you. I'm hoping this one's going to work for me. It did, but not as well as I wanted it to. So I've got another flathead brush. I've wet it down a bit with this burnt umber. I'll start at the top now, nice and sharp, and then come fatter at the bottom to about there. Okay, bomb. And he probably did have another littler one here, so we'll maybe come here and then boom-bitty boom boom. That's it. He didn't do it, but I will do it. Probably need a few limbs. So I've got a small script liner or a liner brush, just something we can bring some foliage out. So I want something here. So I'm going to start fat at the tree, bring it in. You want this nice and wet so as it stays sharp. There we go. Something, because these are what's going to have the foliage on it, these limbs. We can probably got one here. Now we've got to dry it, but before we do, we just want to highlight those big trunks before we cover them up. So I just wiped that brush, I haven't cleaned it, and we've got some white on there. And because our sun's there on the inside, we'll just indicate the tree trunks. See, and that's why I didn't dry it yet, because I wanted it to merge into that brown and look real woody and treey and shadowy and highlighty, you know what I mean? There we go, all the way up there. And then we can do the other one. Just load that brush up the same and do the other one. That way we've got, you could see one tree in front of the other. Now watch that branch there, don't cover that up. And that one there. Leave them there so they look dimensional. Alright, now before we do that, I'm going to grab this same brush that we did this field in and put this ground here. Just using the forest green that's already there, and this is going to make some shrubs. I might get this brown first as a first layer, just to give it some depth in there. So now I want to get some, where are we? He's pretty much right off there. And we're just going to make some of these bushes coming off the painting. This is dark, we want it nice and dark. There we go. So I'm creating the bush with this brush. I've sunken those trees right in there. Could probably come all the way there. Now I want to blow dry that. Okay, just grabbing some of the forest green on here. And put our bushes in front and behind everything where you want them. There we go, that's it. Picking up the cadmium yellow light just on this brush to highlight some of that. I haven't dried it, might need to dry it. We'll see how we go. There we go. I want to bring this one in front there and just something there. Don't overdo it. Okay, just for something different, because we've got some Indian yellow left there, so that brush, I want to get this flavour going up in the foliage of the tree. So we want umbrellas on top of all this. There, off the painting, pick up some more, and then I'll bring this one out like that. There we go. I hope it's working. This will be highlighted. Put something on there. And something on here. So it's a different green. And something in here. Alright, I've just added some more yellow, Indian yellow there. I'll put a bit more in that pile. And load up the brush. So I'll pick up some of that white too, because white with the Indian yellow, look at that. Put things in front and behind, there, there, and there. How's that looking in the monitor? I don't like this stampy effect, so I'll just sort of balk that. Lightly touches it, come out there. Come on top of there, past it a bit, and down it a bit. Well, it's a very limey, I don't know what sort of tree it is, but I don't know what Bob's is either, but it's very limey. What I will do, because it's missing, is I'm going to put some darker value just in there a little bit. So if anything, I'd probably want it within the bottom, because that's what's missing in this tree, is the darker values of the foliage. We'll get something in there to... Now, I haven't dried it. Maybe I should have dried it, but it's all right. We'll survive. And then if anything, if you have to, you can put your highlights back over this, but it needed this darker in there to make the lights pop, otherwise it was too albino. Okay, I'll just whack an autograph on this one here, and then we can cross over to Angela Young, who'll tell me when to whack a frame on it, okay? Now be sure to look at the links in the description below. All my paintings are for sale. You can find the link that'll take you to my Facebook album and show you what's available there. And all purchases are done through your PayPal. So we'll get this done. Okay, now we'll just cross over to the lovely Angela Young.
Hi, I'm Angela Young. I'm from Queensland, Australia, in a little town called Hervey Bay. And as you can see from behind me, I have a few of my paintings still to complete. One of them there, and there's just a couple more up there, and over to my little naughty corner. This is where I work, over in the dining room, so you can see there's a whole big mess here, and this is one piece that I'm working on, and I think it's time to whack a frame on that painting there, Ian. Good on you, Guru.
Okay, thank you for that, Angela. That was the lovely Angela Young from Hervey Bay in Queensland, Australia. Thank you very much, Angela. Now we'll just whack a frame on there, like she said. There we go. We've got our version in acrylic of the subject of Bob Ross's Evening at Sunset, okay? It's not too shabby. Okay, thank you for joining me. I hope you liked this video. And once again, a big thank you to Angela Young in Queensland, Australia. All right, and if you want to appear in my videos, send me a message in Facebook. All the links are down below and I'll explain to you how you can make that happen, okay? So if you like what I'm doing, you be sure to tell your friends, but if you're not, tell everybody, okay? All the best, goodbye, good luck, and good on ya.